Hello, you've caught me preparing my gaming setup in such a way that I won't have to move from this spot for 5 hours at least, more if I can hold it. I've got my selection of healthy snacks, the TV remote is at arm's length, and I've taken off my jeans so that my thighs can breathe. Too bad so for me, because you're playing one of this week's 7 video games that make you do actual physical things in real life. I was set up for that, wasn't I? Here are 7... yeah. Tearaway is our first entry, a game that opens itself up to the invasion of your big sweaty flesh digits, but gets its own back by making you cut things out with scissors like you're back in Mrs. Bull's art class in year 2.
Robert, cut the paper, not your classmates.
Good times. Media Molecule's genius PS Vita platformer is all about merging Iota's world with yours, and to that end lets you download and print the actual real papercraft plans of in-game characters, provided you've snapped a photo of them. This means that in order to say you've fully completed Tearaway, you have to stealthily print out a bunch of silly paper plans using the office printer. Because let's face it, it's not 2003, you don't have a printer at home, do you? All the while cursing your inability to just leave these sorts of optional extras the hell alone. Then it's off to WH Smith's to buy your first pair of scissors for 14 years, and voila, we're paper crafting. Officially a real physical thing. Well done me. Well done me. Next up, it's The Witness, a prime example of one of those games I'd love to be good at, one of those games I approached with the naive optimism of a man who had absolutely no idea what he was about to dive into. Dave was the first of us to play it and came into the office bursting with anecdotes.
It's amazing, it's so good. Some of the puzzles I had to make notes for, I did drawings, I took photos of things so I could remember.
I'm not doing any of that, I will solve it all in here. Yeah, 3 hours later, I've taken 15 photos, drawn enough diagrams to make Leonardo da Vinci blush, and made Dave stand by the TV tracing a route through a maze I can't physically see.
I thought you were going to try and solve all these in your head.
Shut up, Dave. That's the genius of The Witness. It's so intricately designed, the solutions to many of the puzzles bleed into the real world. You will need a camera, you will need a pen and paper, you will need an extra person to stand like a lemon moving their finger across the television screen. Eureka moments don't come cheap in The Witness. We're back on PS Vita for entry number 3, and it's one of the cleverest and funniest games you can pick up on the handheld.
Frobisher says...
Oh, the memories. Kevin Eldon's superbly sinister delivery as the voice of bow-tie-wearing man-child Frobisher feels like it's aimed directly at your funny bone, being equal measures hilarious and unsettling. And strangely compelling. I will literally do anything the wormy little freak asks. Squash the toffs with pleasure, Frobisher. Slice through Mr. Sanderson's cactus. Oops. Smile at the ladies, but don't smile at the badgers. Fine by me, I hate badgers.
Hello, lovely badgers. Ladies.
Catch Ponsonby is the one you absolutely don't want to get, however, especially if you're on a train. Through the magic of augmented reality, the evasive little beggar flits about across 360 degrees, meaning you have to twist all over the place like a lunatic if you want to catch him within the time limit. Come on. Right, it's time. I've kept you waiting, huh? Entry number 4 is from Metal Gear Solid. Frobisher says get your damn pen out, Dave, and stick a mark on that tally, because we're talking about the ingenious fourth wall-busting torture sequence and the conversation with Naomi that follows. Now, Revolver Ocelot's sadistic attack on your thumbs doesn't quite count as the moment that makes this list, as despite the fact you'll be feeling real-world physical discomfort, all you're essentially doing is hammering the circle button. It's how Naomi helps you recover that really pushes MGS beyond the virtual boundaries, however. She asks you to put the controller against your arm, an instruction we all followed to the letter, before sending soothing, revitalising vibrations through the DualShock and into your spent muscles. Ah, lovely. Thank you, Naomi. Oh, yeah, that's really good, Naomi. Oh, yeah. Just wait a second. I don't have a controller down there. Ever since Hagrid uttered those immortal lines in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone,
You're a wizard, Harry.
I've always dreamed of receiving my very own Hogwarts letter. What if, just what if, it's all real? And those weird magic things that happen to me all the time, like when my keys literally just disappear. What if it's because I'm magic?
It's not. You can always play Sorcery on PS3 though.
God bless you, PlayStation Move motion controller, and double God bless you, Sorcery, the game that lets you realise your lifelong fantasy of swish and flick, making magic happen with an actual wand. When this came out, it felt like the game PS Move was made for, so accurate and responsive, and, you know, the shape of the Move motion controller always meant it was destined to be a wand.
What in heaven's name are you doing? You're going to be 30 at the end of the year. Don't you think you're a bit old for magic wands and made-up words?
Silencio!
Don't you think Kitsy of me! Now, do you want SpongeBob or Batman spaghetti shapes?
Our penultimate entry sees us aboard the Sevastopol station in Alien Isolation, a game that made me do a great many things in the real world. Things like swear and cry and nearly faint. Hook up a PlayStation camera, however, and you can crank up the fear to a whole new level. In a brilliantly horrifying twist, you can turn on head tracking and noise detection in Alien Isolation's options menu, and they both do exactly what you'd expect. Head tracking is our main entry here, allowing you to physically peek over and around objects so you get a better sense of exactly when you're about to be impaled by the slimy ejecting mouthpiece of a merciless ET. And it really does change the game, seeing as how in Alien Isolation you spend the majority of your time hiding behind, underneath, or in scenery, hoping the bloody thing isn't behind, underneath, or in you. You can crane your neck with regular controls, but they're not as precise or delicate as the movements you can make with your actual head. You'll go slowly, tentatively, sneak a quick one, and then immediately duck back behind cover.
It's so phenomenally stressful in a brilliant kind of way that it makes you feel as though you're actually being hunted.
Combine it with noise detection, whereby the PlayStation camera picks up sound from your living room and alerts the alien if things get too noisy, and you've got quite possibly the most horrifying gaming experience on PS4. Congratulations, Creative Assembly. We hope you're happy. And speaking of happy, how about our last entry, LEGO Dimensions? Firstly, it's LEGO, which is right up there with rainbows and saying please and thank you in the Universal League table of things that are good. Secondly, it's a game that has Batman, The Lord of the Rings, The Wizard of Oz, and Doctor Who, among loads of others, all together at the same time. It's like a pop culture saturated 14-year-old gushed out a tidal wave of fan fiction using every character they knew, and Traveller's Tales said, yeah, okay, let's make that into a brilliant game.
And thirdly, and best of all, you get to play with actual Lego and see your creations in game.
This just doesn't get boring. Not only do you get to make stuff like the Batmobile and then see it pop up in the virtual world, you also get to upgrade it, which taps into that childhood curiosity streak we all experienced at one point when we all stopped and thought to ourselves, wait a minute, what would happen if I ignored the instructions here and built whatever the hell I wanted?
Technically, you're still following instructions, but come on.
It makes for a wonderful change of pace too. You'll be there solving puzzles and smacking nasties when all of a sudden, poof! You're back in the real world, calloused thumbs thrown back to the glory days of yesteryear, remembering the times they pieced together bits of studded plastic into something magical. And you'll stay like that for 10 minutes or so, just building and poking and thinking about how life would be so much better if they had Lego mini breaks in everything. There you have it, 7 times video games made us do actual things in real life. Let us know if you can think of any more examples, leave us a like if you're feeling kind, and subscribe if you haven't already for more of these videos every Friday. Thanks for watching.